everyone. I'm going to be talking about Gestalt psychology, so let's just jump right in. Alright, so Gestalt psychology refers to a way of examining psychology. So for Gestalt psychology, it is about examining the intact whole behavior of an individual or the individual's cognitive experience. Just a little bit of a recap, but a cognitive experience is referring to how an individual acquires an understanding of their current experience through their past thoughts, experiences, and senses. So it's like looking at the whole of their experience in life and studying their ability to understand life based on this whole. Gestalt in German actually means whole, so in trying to remember it and study it, you could create some sort of new mnemonic device, or you could just refer to whole as Gestalt, so it's Gestalt whole psychology. Anyway. So, in studying Gestalt psychology, the lecture talked about a few psychologists who use the perspective of Gestalt psychology in relation to human behavior and their studies. So, one of these psychologists was named Wolfgang Kohler, and he was a co-founder of Gestalt psychology. He conducted research with chimps. Kohler also theorized that the brain imposes structure and form on incoming information. And I won't be able to touch on all of the co-founders of Gestalt psychology because I don't think I'll have enough time, but I think it's important to bring up the law of prognans, which from the lecture states that there are force fields in the brain organize and simplify incoming information and making psychological experience organized. So which indicates that if we are influenced mainly by our own cognition, then the law of prognans also allows us to organize and simplify the information coming to us in a way that makes our psychological experience organized and understandable. In relation to the law of prognans is that top-down and bottom-up processing, which describe the process of interpreting information. So top-down processing is the idea that our brains form an idea of big pictures first from previous knowledge and then break it down into more specific information. And bottom-up is involves information traveling up from the stimuli via the senses to the brain, which then interprets it. Which brings me to my next topic, Gestalt principles of perceptual organization. So these principles explain how our perceptions of something can alter how we cognitively organize and understand them. So these principles consist of figure ground, continuity, closure, proximity, and similarity. One example using proximity is the tendency to perceptually group together stimuli that are physically close. This could be seen as when a man is standing closely next to a woman, we may assume they are in a relationship, but because of their close proximity, but there could be a number of reasons they are standing close, and it doesn't mean they are together. But because of their close proximity, we assume a relationship. And also pulling an example from lecture, when we talked about the close proximity of these dots and how they are we group them together because of how close they are, even though there's no actual relationship that it's trying to get across to us. Overall, Gestalt psychology proposes many new perspectives on the topic of understanding cognition, though it isn't without its faults. Unfortunately, it is difficult to validate some of the concepts because of their vagueness, but Gestalt psychology also allows us to perceive psychology as a whole, which could be useful in observing overall impacts of experiences on an individual's cognition, and we can develop more theories from there. I got my definition of bottom-up processing and top-down processing online because I could not open up my textbook. But other than that, I got my material from textbook, lecture, and that's it. Have a great day, everyone.